We've got some breaking news, more breaking news, believe it or not. SUNY Oneonta is sending its students home for the semester after a coronavirus outbreak swept its campus. 389 positive cases of the deadly virus since the start of the semester, which just started 11 days ago. Now, this is a wake-up call to colleges and universities across the country. Alabama State University choosing technology from Draganfly, company we've had here on Countdown, to help assess student health and social distancing compliance in real time. To find out more about it, how this all works, I want to bring in Draganfly CEO Cameron Chell. He's here on a Fox Business exclusive. And Cameron, it's fascinating what your company does. It really is. So you've got these 10 stations set up at Alabama State. Explain what each does and how this works with students.
Sure. Thanks for having me back again. Draganfly is the oldest operating drone manufacturer in North America. We trade DFLYF as our symbol, and we really appreciate being here. We originally developed the technology to work on drones, but where we've really seen traction is in fixed-base cameras and even in on cell phones for telemedicine. And what the technology does is it can actually read temperature through the thermal sensor, but it can also, through the RGB sensor, which is the regular camera sensor, be able to read heart rate, respiratory rate, and O2 saturation. And these are all additional symptoms as well as temperature that which may sometimes be asymptomatic, that can help give indication if somebody may have an infectious condition. And
so I want to interrupt. For that particular station, do I walk by it? Do I walk through it? Like, do the kids have to go through a specific area? And do they know they're being screened?
Yeah, so for that particular rig, yes, absolutely, people know that they're being screened, and it's voluntary. That particular rig, you can't be without knowing and without consent.
Okay.
You can't be giving your temperature or your heart rate or your respiratory rate. So you would walk up to it, you face it directly. It can be manned or unmanned, depending on the use case scenario. If people are walking into a stadium or a tightly controlled area where you really need to manage the health measurements, then you would have it manned and make sure that every person goes through a process. Or you can have it as an unmanned situation where people can go up and do a self-assessment.
Okay. Now, I know when you were doing drone work and drone scanning that there have been some privacy concerns. So, but at Alabama State, you're not collecting any data for the student. You're not collecting name or anything, right?
There's no personalized data. Absolutely. There's no personalized data involved at all. It doesn't do any facial recognition. The technology was originally developed for two use cases, which was one in disaster relief areas, to be able to see if survivors on the ground are alive or how serious condition they're in, so you can triage appropriately. And the second use case was to actually monitor the health of wildlife who might be in a dangerous situation like a fire or a challenging migration. And of course, in both those cases, you don't use facial recognition.
I like that. I like that. Real quick, has any other universities approached you? Are you talking to anyone?
Yeah, this, the fact of the matter is you can't test everybody every single day, and there's not enough tests to go around anyway. So to be able to have a proactive action like this for people to screen and get a sense of where they're at to see if they then need to go for a test, it's what we are seeing is that it's having an impact immediately already in the first week.
Well, but you are talking with some other universities?
Yeah, dozens and dozens, actually.
Dozens and dozens. Okay. I wanted to get that out to the viewers. We're running low on time. But Cameron Chell, thank you very much for being here.